What's happening, entrepreneur? This is Anthony Miller, the Mentoring Mind Coach. I got another one for you. I do everything God do. Brothers and sisters, that has to become your new affirmation. I'm going to repeat it for you at the end. Why do I say that? Especially for the men. So many of these pontificators be on all the social media platforms participating in the so-called war between men and women. It is imaginary. And if you get caught up in it, that will be your fault. But I know that's not going to be you because you're listening to me. There ain't no war between you and her. There's a war in the spiritual realm. And you have to have discernment. You have to have self-control. You have to have a high vibrational frequency to avoid it. And it is very doable to avoid it. I'm going to submit to you that when you do everything that God do, you can have almost any woman you want. Now, you don't want a woman that's already married. You do not want a baddie. You want a woman that God created specifically for you. Now, I got this thing called the fivefold ministry. This is exactly what God does for us. So, brother, you got to find a woman who can receive it. It's the Montana to Rice connection. Both of them brothers is in the Hall of Fame. Pitch and catch. Pitch and catch. As a man, you have to choose a woman who can catch and receive what you dish out. If she can't catch, she ain't the one for you. If she don't want to catch, she ain't the one for you. The right woman for you can catch that pig skin with one hand, just like Odell Beckham Jr. The right woman for you will go across that middle. The right woman for you is a playmaker, brother, but you got to be able to stand in the pocket. When that pocket is closing in, you got to be able to step up. And you ain't going to throw a strike every time out. But long as you get it in the vicinity, she going to catch it. What is the fivefold ministry? You have to be her protector. What are you protecting? Now, typically when we think of protection, we think if you break into my crib and my wife is in here, I'm going to kill you in. I am going to unalive you if you try to come in my house. That's one form of protection. But what I'm talking about is you protect her heart. That means you have to know her like a book. That means that you have to adhere to the law of cause and effect. Because if you don't know what hurts her, if you don't know her pain points, you will hurt her. And a lot of times it may be unintentionally, but most of the times it's going to be intentionally because you don't know her. The second P, you got to be her provider. What are you going to provide for her? You're going to provide a safe space for her to flourish, for her to use her spiritual gifts, for her to bring heaven down to earth. The third P, you are going to be her prophet. The two of you are going to engage in conversation so well, so deep, so refined that you will be able to speak into her life like this. You're going to tell her something about herself that she never told another soul. She ain't never uttered, never shared with anyone what you just prophesied over her life. That's that deep, intimate connection. The fourth P, you're going to be her priest. I see you, you turned up your nose, you turned up your lip because I said priest. So we're going to say preacher. What does the preacher do? Warns us. What does the preacher do? Galvanizes us. To do what? Be our very best. To do the will of God. To be better today than we was yesterday. To keep us from falling. To keep us from making the same mistakes. That's what you're going to be to her. One more. And you are going to be her peace. Not necessarily where it's quiet and serene. I'm talking about the peace that surpasses all understanding. You enter, and understand her better than any man on the face of the planet. They will envy you. They will be jealous of you because you know her that well. You create an environment where she can flourish. There will be no shots fired, no fiery darts thrown, no venom, no backhands, no pimp slaps, no body slams. Serenity. When it comes to her peace, you will help her accept the things that she cannot change and the wisdom to know the difference. So you got to be bossed up, my brother, to even give that woman the fivefold ministry. And you can't just give it to any old woman. You got to be self-controlled, man. You can't be sleeping with 15, 20, 30 different women. You will never find her if you sleep with that many women. Self-controlled. I see you, and then I don't. Pastor Cecil Shorts. I don't know if he's the third senior. I'm not sure. But he told me something maybe 40 years ago that I remember to this very day. We were in the car riding somewhere, and a young lady passed by, and I said, "Ooh, man, did you see her?" And he said, "No." I said, "See, she just passed us. What you mean you ain't see her?" And he said these words to me. He said, "Tone, that's not my wife." He said, "That's not my wife." And a brother could not argue. I could not refute what he said because I saw his wife. I met his wife. I shook his wife's hand. And that girl who passed us, it wasn't her. To keep you from falling, brother, to keep you from making the same mistakes over and over and over again and getting nowhere, to stop you from marrying an unwife, a woman who was argumentative and abrasive against you, a woman who was combative, confrontational, disrespectful, harmful, injurious, ominous, poisonous, radioactive, rude, ruinous, toxic, volatile, unyielding, who easily becomes unhinged and is reckless with her words, deeds, habits, patterns, and outcomes towards you, you absolutely must cultivate the ability to be self-controlled. That phrase that Pastor Cecil told me, I'm sharing it with you. That is not my wife. How do you know she's not your wife? Because you can't give her the fivefold ministry. I can't wait to hear your new results, your new outcomes. Get in my comments, whatever it takes to reach out to me. If ain't nobody got ears for you, I do. Because my mission statement is to stop unhappy marriages from starting. I will see you on the good side. Peace.